Alrighty, this is Street Sense. Nah, I'm just joking. It's not Street Sense. I'm just trying to joke around like that. But this video is about two colognes that I really like. Unfortunately, Bleecker Street is a sample size that I have. I do have the 100 ml, but I ended up putting some juice inside the bottle, travel size for Purple Label. Reason why I like these colognes and scents is because I really miss Ralph Lauren Silver. Ralph Lauren Romance Silver, actually. Romance is good, but I think Romance Silver was better. It was probably the best smelling cologne aside from Aqua di Gio. And I don't know what it is, but the late 90s, 2000s, and maybe early 2010 cologne batches were way stronger and better than the ones that are coming out. The only ones that are like really strong now are colognes that are from the Middle East, like Turkish, Arab, Persian colognes. You spray those, you shower, and you still smell them. Most of these colognes that are coming out from Europe and the United States and Canada is like they're not as strong. Like Lucky You is another good examples. Like that one's made in the US. I remember back in the 2000s, it would smell really strong and amazing. I smell it again. I'm like, holy crap, it doesn't smell that much. And maybe because it's been sitting there for years, maybe. I mean, I still see it from time to time on the shelves in Walmart for like 20 bucks. Back then was like 50, 60, something like that. But yeah, the Purple Label's not cheap. I only wish Purple Label was discontinued and Romance Silver for men were still a thing because Romance is still a thing for women. But for men, they discontinued those. Why? I don't know. Like all the stuff that I really like. And again, I'm gonna go with the notes. I'm gonna minimize this. And they're very, very similar. Now, a lot of people that I've been seeing on YouTube, they say that Bleecker Street smells better. I have to highly disagree. Maybe in the opening it does. I have to agree. The opening, the berry smells a little bit better. But then on the dry down, it doesn't even get near as good as Ralph Lauren. Like, there's something about Ralph Lauren colognes. If they have woody scents, they are one of the best when it comes to woody scents, in my opinion. And doesn't get that much love, the Ralph Lauren colognes. They did get love back then, but now they kind of get ignored, just like a lot of other brands that were hyped a lot, like Tommy Hilfiger. Um, and there's other ones I can't think on top of my head, but yeah, the Ralph Lauren products they haven't been getting too much love lately. But let me show you the notes, and then we can go on. So don't listen to the accords. Usually that doesn't mean they're exactly, and that's another thing. Don't think that, oh, just because this one has like, give me a second. Just because this one has like, just like this one has like different, the same notes, it's gonna smell exactly the same. That's not the case. There's some that are like having different notes, different accords, and somehow in the opening, they smell exactly the same. Now, it's very, very hard for any cologne that smells the same on the dry down. I think all colognes smell different on the dry down. There's no cologne. It's usually the opening, and when I say opening, it means the top notes starts to shine and start smelling, and you smell that like the first 15, 30 minutes. That's usually top notes, and then middle notes is when it starts to get dry down 30 minutes to like an hour, 15 minutes, and then hour 15, an hour and 30 minutes plus. That's the base notes. That's when it starts kicking on a lot of the dry down. That's when the cologne is spent vast majority of the time. So most people will get a lot of colognes because they're like, I like how it smells. But you should definitely get a cologne how it's gonna smell after that hour 30-minute mark. And I stress it enough that I'm not a cologne reviewer. I'm not a perfume enthusiast. But there's many people that say, "Oh, this is smell like this and that." Like, dude, for the love of God, like, tell people if the base note is how you like it, because At the end of the day, a lot of the times when the opening will be a lot of the turnoff, but it's usually the base note where it's gonna spend most of the time in your skin and smelling. So you should definitely go for those two things, not just the opening. Now, if there's an opening, it's a little bit bad, harsh, whatever. I don't get it either. Like there's colognes that smell kind of like icky, and I'm like, nah, I don't like it at all. And yeah, and there's people that like them, like Chanel Allure Home Sport. I remember getting it back then as like an essential oil, and then I already smelled the cologne, which it smelled exactly. I'm like, damn, I never got compliments from it. I don't understand how some people been getting compliments, and I even asked the lady in the mall. She's like, wow, come on. She got surprised that I didn't like it. I like the Chanel Home Sport, but not the extreme. I like the original one, not the gray one, the white one, the clear one. I don't know if it's EDP, but anyways. So for the Bleecker Street, you're gonna have the berries, the blackberry, and then the other one. Uh, I love New York with the blueberry. I'm not gonna lie, like the blueberry is where it shines more. I can smell some of the blackberries, like not that good, but the blueberry and the violet here and the thyme is a good mixture. The opening smells way better. And then I don't know what kind of wood notes they're using here. It kind of smells like, I'm not gonna lie, it smells a little bit feminine. I don't like it. Like the dry down smells a little bit feminine. The dry down on this, the mahogany smells so great and amazing. Like it, that's the only thing where the musk and the mahogany, like it reminds me a little bit of Ralph Lauren Silver. And the only thing that Ralph Lauren Silver romance, sorry, the only thing you're gonna get close to it is not just this. You need a mixture of Gucci by Gucci Pure Home. That's another one that is it's really this is a really hard cologne. I don't know if I really got a real one, but this one, if you layer it and layering as you put a cologne, and then you get another one and you put another one. The problem is people don't know how to layer it right. Like you want to have a main cologne that you want other people to smell you, and then the other one that's gonna be subtle, not too overwhelming. People do the exact same sprays. I don't think that's the right layering, but who am I to judge? If you want to layer the same sprays, go for it. But if you're gonna get a headache or you're gonna give other people an overwhelming headache or something's too strong, go for that route. I think the whole subtle layer, I think it's a little bit better. Um, how I layer is I usually just spray it on my chest, the one that I want to layer it, and then the other ones I put it on my wrist, slightly next to my shoulders, and then chest as well. So that way I don't actually um, smell a lot for the other two colognes. But if you want to go layer it a different way, go for it. But I do Gucci Pure Home, and I do the purple label, and it reminds me a lot like Ralph Lauren Romance Silver. But even then, the Romance Silver, there was something about it back in the 2000s that you would smell it. Oh, man, like you would get high from smelling it. It smelled so great. Like the 2000s colognes were so strong, like the Lucky You, the Curve, um, Hugo Boss. A lot of those I smelled back then. Paris Hilton for him, or I think it was for him. So a lot of these EDPs, I mean EDTs, were way too strong. Like they're reminding me a lot of like the EDPs. So parfums have higher concentration oils. So anything that has intense, which is basically parfum but more concentrated, or parfum have more oil concentration. And then EDP has less oil concentration. And then fresh, oh, you fresh is the one that has less, is the one that has more alcohol. Uh, there are colognes that have the fresh and they smell the strongest in the beginning, like the first 20 to 30 minutes, the fresh ones, they're really strong, but then it's really dries down and you don't smell it that much after 2 hours. So the parfums, especially the intense versions, they smell longer, but like the projection is not there. And that's something that I forgot to mention in these videos is that I'm not sure if these are actually EDPs or EDTs or what's it called? UFresh EFs. Well, I don't know what they're called EFs. I think UFresh. So there are only three different type of colognes there. So Bleecker Street is they always ran out, man. I think a lot of stores, high-end stores, have them. A lot of discounters don't have them that much because the the main website of New York, they just never have sales, man. They rarely have sales. And if they have something like a good deal sale, it's just to actually give you something like samples, which is not a bad thing, but I mean, they're not discounting much of the price. This one you can get it on the website Ralph Lauren colognes at a discount price, usually on during holidays, but sometimes it's like really rare, so it's I think on a 130 is way too much price point. I feel like this cologne is a good at 80, 90, maybe $100. But since it reminds me like Ralph Lauren Romance Silver, I think 130 can be justified considering that this is like a 350, $300 cologne, which is ridiculous amount, man. I think there's some places that have it like a 400. So I love New York. They're getting pushed to become niche fragrances, and I don't know how or why. I remember I got the Father. It was like 120, and I'm like, shit, this is very expensive. And I actually liked it. And I'm not gonna buy any more from eBay, but I got it on eBay. But it smelled really good. But if you're gonna get these colognes, get it from their websites. They're usually the best way, so they can be more fresh. Then the other option, if you want to save up money, get it at discounters like Joma Shop, Fragrant X, Fragrance Net, which I don't recommend. But if you want to buy from there, go for it. And yeah, Gucci, another one. This one is really hard to get. Like this one, that's what I hate about some of these colognes is that they're really hard to get. Like sometimes they just have only one place to actually sell them, and it's like, come on, man, you're pushing it, man. So don't go by just the notes of like the notes are the same. Uh-uh. Don't go by the notes, man. Like this one's liked a lot. I know it's a little bit off topic here, but like a lot of people like this one. I personally don't like it. So everybody has their own different taste. Don't just go by my opinion of saying, "Oh, this smells like Ralph Lauren Romance Silver." And I'm sorry if you never smelled it, but give it a try in a store if they have it, or buy a sample. I actually the purple label was a blind buy because they say it smelled exactly like Bleecker Street, which I had a sample, and I actually they were right because a lot of times when they say there's a cologne that smells exactly like it does not smell like Afnan Supremacy. They say that it smells like Creta Ventus. That's a total bullshit lie, man. It does not smell nothing like Creta Ventus. Just because it has some fruity, woody notes. Like, don't listen to a lot of times what the people say. That's, you gotta smell it for yourself because every skin is different. If you put in a testing strip, sometimes it's different. So again, like it's a different scent for everybody. So you just gotta have a more conscience and say, you know what? I'm gonna get the sample in order to actually give it a try. But again, it's up to you if you want to go for that route, which is the best route. Don't blind buy. Again, I took the risk of blind buying this one, but I think it was worth the money because it does smell like Bleecker Street. But Bleecker Street, like I said, has a better opening, but the base notes is ass. So if you want to go for that route, by all means. But if you want to save up money and get something that's one third the price of Purple Label, I mean Bleecker Street, then get Purple Label, man. And again, Gucci, This one's really hard to get, unfortunately. I wouldn't recommend to say buy this one. Oh, I already took it. Yeah, Gucci B, Gucci B from it's really hard to get. I'm gonna cut this video. Hopefully this was informative. And again, like I hope people layer colognes. I need to start doing it. I keep forgetting to do it, but layering is so good. I don't care if people say you want to smell more different type of scents. You just gotta be smart in layering. Don't just go for something spicy and then get something citrusy. I'm like, you want to get something spicy. If you want to have some woody notes, want to get something citrus, you want to layer with something fresh. So you're just gonna be smart and have something similar to other scents that are usually have on their top and middle notes. I mean, top and base notes. Anyways, take care, everybody. Have a good one. Peace out.